he had a large trailer on the back of his car, so he was coming with a great deal of momentum. Lonnie, what do you make of this legally? Is there liability here?
Well, civil liability, I'm sure, yes. And then the question is there criminal liability? And there could be a vehicular manslaughter charge here. All it takes if someone dies is if there was some type of negligence. That could be a traffic violation, like was somebody speeding? Were they following too close? Was Bruce pulling that dune buggy in a lawful and safe manner? Was he on the phone at the time? Any of those things could be considered negligence up to the point of filing a vehicular manslaughter charge. And remember, not just Bruce, all of the drivers will be investigated for a possible charge.
Right. And Lonnie, you know, I know they are looking at phone records, and Bruce turned over his phone, but it certainly gives all of us pause. I mean, here in Los Angeles, we all talk on the phone. We all do things. I mean, if we activate our Waze, are we going to be guilty of negligence just because we have some sort of system operating?
Well, in and of itself, it may not be enough, but I will tell you, Dr. Drew, and I think all of your viewers will be very curious to know, if there's an accident like this, one of the first things that the investigators do is they go for those cell records to see were they on the phone, were they activating the phone, were they texting at the time, and they will definitely take that into consideration to decide if you are driving in a safe manner or not.
And speaking of safety, Vanessa, everything is documented with this family, of which Bruce is still a part. Every frame of the crash is shown. Seems like the paparazzi were there, and I guess there was some documentation, that piece we heard, that they were there, but he says they were not following him. Could they still be responsible in some way?
In this case, it doesn't seem as though they're responsible. What I will say, though, is that we've seen time and time again that this paparazzi gets way too aggressive, way too out of control. And even if Bruce felt like he wasn't trying to evade them, he wasn't trying to get away, we don't know if he just has this sense of always being followed, and maybe he always is a heightened driver now because he's always being chased. So I think the ramifications of having the paparazzi being allowed to have that kind of erratic driving, nothing good can come of it, even if they're not directly responsible in this case.
And Nicole, I want to ask you, you know, we hear allegedly that he is going through the transition, and no doubt, you know, I mean, it's just unbelievably stressful time already, and he's in the public scrutiny, and now this. I guess the first question I would have is the stress of this transition, and I know the hormones themselves can cause difficulties with concentration. Do you think that in any way figured in, A, to the accident, and B, certainly to what poor Bruce is going through?
Definitely. And I mean, this is coming from someone who has dealt with gender dysphoria myself. So I definitely believe that he's got a lot going on his plate right now, between the media and everything going on with that and what's going on inside his own mind. So I definitely think that all of that stress and stuff combined did not help this situation.